not a facto, pterodactyl when I'm micro and macro my mind. Why would I try to hide the fact that I'm jacked to be actually naturally high? And I'm that guy with the flashlight, looking back at the track with the black light. How about this, how about that? Pay attention to wax, you're free to see what that's like. And that's why we need to take things slow.
All right, guys. Ian Anderson, Corey Merrill, Central Coast Disc Golf Course. We're back out for the final round of the Utah Open.
Yeah, man, Utah Open. You know, we already know how it ends. We saw in the Jomez coverage, but today we get to enjoy some great golf. We could see a course record or two, my friend.
That's right. Yeah, somebody comes out and shoots some fire today, so it's a good watch for sure.
Totally, and this course is slayable. You know, a lot of folks have been seeing a lot of that woods golf from Worlds at Beaver State Fling. This is basically the polar opposite, if you recall.
It is,
It's wide open, water everywhere, and quick fairways.
Cool. Look at that card we got. Really fun group of guys. And a bunch of smashers,
Totally,
too.
man. Yeah, and some guys that, you know, maybe don't get a ton of coverage with Dustin Keegan and Dana and some young guns, Anthony and Ulibarri, who's always around.
Yeah. Tell us about hole one, Corey.
711 feet. It's a par 4, so getting you started kind of really in character with the course. It's long, and you've got to throw 2 touch shots, really. Get yourself up into the fairway and then attack the green as it slopes away from you. So it's very touchy.
Yeah, really tough second shot here. First drive, you're just going to mash one out here. Paul Ulibarri on the box. Probably ripping a D1.
Yeah, I'd expect something high speed, overstable. Just lean it out to the right and have it work back.
It looks like that Core Series one that Kale was throwing at GBO.
Oh, yeah, the invisible disc?
Yeah,
I'm into that. Love that.
Yeah, right.
Arizona, representing
Dark purple. Not even once, Corey.
AB,
Not even once. Here's Rob announcing all the players, man. Good guy. Nice. He had high energy the whole time. It was great.
Love that. Anthony Barela. Huge fan of watching this guy throw after BSF, Corey.
I know, dude. He is so smooth, and he throws 550, and it looks like I'm throwing 300.
Yeah.
It's great.
Just unreal form. AB probably throwing a Star Destroyer right there.
Yeah, I'd assume. That's pretty beefy, and that is so far.
Lord. Oh, my God. Wow.
That's a good 550 on a controlled hyzer. It's so impressive.
Unreal.
Dana Vicich.
Up next, we got Dana Vicich.
Yeah, the beard himself, man. It is looking nice.
Yeah.
Good crop.
Friend of the program. Great guy.
Yeah, I met him out at Peoria last year for the Ledgestone.
Oh, nice.
Ended up walking around with him a lot. He was kind of hanging around. I think he's the assistant TD. It was good times.
Cool. It's a good-looking pull from Dana.
Yeah, a little bit off to that right side, but really your goal on this first shot is to just bite off as much as you can to really make that second shot manageable when you're dealing with that bunker in front of you and the slope.
Exactly.
The basket.
And Oregon's own Dustin Keegan, also a fantastic human being.
I was just gonna say, if you weren't gonna say it, I was gonna say it, man. I can't see him and not go up and say, hey. He's one of those guys. You know what I mean?
For sure. Very approachable. Super nice. Looks like he's reaching for a Star Destroyer right here. Maybe a PD2, actually.
I believe his PD2's white, so I'm pretty sure that's a Star Destroyer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Just a little bit behind AB. Looks like Yuli up first with the second shots onto this really tricky green.
Yeah, really, if you could maybe spike it into the top of that hill, you see Yuli just maybe missing it by 6 inches, and he's outside the circle.
Right? Yeah, just super touchy. Let's see if Dana can get it close. Easier said than done.
Very much so. You know, just soaring right over it again, and he's far outside the circle.
Yeah, but that's a mistake you want to make. You don't want to come up short and land at that or that bunker.
Totally. You'll take your outside putt at a 3 over your outside putt for a 4. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Keegan. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yep, finding that outside putt for 4, unfortunately.
Yeah, looks to be pretty close, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, not too bad.
Yep. AB. Wow, Corey, he bit off so much on that drive.
Just so impressive. I can't imagine a better way of playing it with those 2 shots. That's unreal.
Wow, a little P2 action right there.
Yeah, should be.
Ooh.
Dana feeling it early, throwing it into those snow-capped mountains.
Coming out with some fire. That was a good one. That's kind of a risky putt to run, too.
It really is. You really want a little bit more out of that.
Yeah. Keegan for the 4. Good putt.
Yeah, that's clutch. You're talking about scary putts. I have to think that direction is a little bit more scary.
Yeah, definitely. AB with just a little routine birdie, making that hole look really easy.
So casual, and trust me, that is not a casual hole.
No, not at all. Also a really great birdie from Dana. They're both tied at 10 down, one back at Uli for the chase card lead. On to hole 2, Corey.
Yeah, hole 2, 369 feet, par 3. This one definitely has some teeth, though. You see that bunker short of the pin, and then there's water on both sides. A peninsula green. Really, you can throw it sidearm or backhand. I'm going to see a lot of these guys throwing backhand. It's really a distance control shot, though. You want to do
that
pretty much exactly what Anthony did. Yeah, exactly.
That drone footage really gives you a cool perspective on this hole. I didn't realize it was so peninsula-y.
It really is. It's pretty thin.
Yeah. That was Dana getting it over there. That looks even better.
Yeah, that's the ideal spot. There's a little pocket over there, so that if you're coming in on the hyzer, it'll catch it nicely.
Yeah. Paul going to try and keep up with the first 2.
Yeah, inside the circle, and there's not a lot you can ask for after that.
Keegan? Looks like he's going destroyer again.
Yeah, it's only 369 feet, but you really want that steep angle of the disc coming in.
Yeah, you don't want a lot of ground action. Paul, get that putt going, buddy.
Yeah, just looking a little floppy, a little floaty on those first 2.
AB just tosses it in. That's the softest putt I've ever seen him throw.
I know. He puts so hard, man.
Yeah, they're usually like 60, 70 miles an hour, but that was gentle. Keegan converts for the birdie. Dana's going to go 2 under right here, along with AB.
Yeah, it was kind of comical. These baskets, like anytime you hit a putt, they're all like shaking around. It was, I think they might have like you can change the band on them or that type of thing, like modular. But you can see them shaking around like crazy.
That's funny. I wonder if that helps it stick in or not.
Yeah, I don't know. A little bit of like a crumple zone.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Innova's best engineers are working on it.
The R&D department.
Yeah. All right, there are 3 birdies in that hole. Paul could have converted, but didn't. They're tied at 11 down for the chase card lead. On to hole 3, 405. This is a tough one. That green, Corey.
It really is. Off the tee, it kind of that cart path makes you think there's danger left, but really that is the safe side to be on.
Yeah.
It is going to be safe as opposed to years prior where it has played OB. The green and bunker just to the right of the pin is the real danger here.
Look how high AB threw that hyzer. If I threw a hyzer that high, I would go like 150 feet.
Yeah, I was going to say, like behind me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dana here looking to keep the streak going. And does. A little bit shorter than Anthony's, but he's putting.
Keegan with a little more conventional line, but needs to get left.
Yeah, definitely hung that out a little farther right. Oh, my gosh.
That's a good stick right there.
Touch shot, placement shot. I respect that. It's nice.
There you go. Yuli's looking good if it stays clean.
Oh, too clean.
Like a tired kangaroo, Corey. He is out of bounds.
Wow, bringing it back, man.
I love that line from Alex so much. I love that putt from Paul too. That was a good one. Dana coming up a little bit short on that drive. Corey,
how about that putt from Dana? That ricocheted off the tree, dude.
Did it really?
Yes.
Hey,
when it's your day, it's your day. You know?
Exactly. AP with another good putt is going to keep up with Dana.
Yeah, these guys are tossing out here, man. That is 3 down, 2 down, 2 down after 3 holes. They're cooking.
Dang. Chase card came to do some things.
Yeah.
I like it. A couple 12 downs from Dana and Anthony. They are slaying right now.
Yeah, and these guys, I mean, Rick is out here, so he's playing well, but this field really is not star-studded like a lot of those top-tier events, so really it's anybody's round out here. Mm-hmm. It's hard to say that anyone's a sure lock.
Yeah, no doubt. Tons of OB as well. Mm-hmm. We're on to the next hole. Anthony throwing it pretty low here. Is that going to work? Ooh.
Just barely. Good Lord.
Wow. I would have thought this was a hole he could have got, too. I guess
I totally agree. It's a long one. 550 feet, and you're carrying water the entire way.
Yeah, 450.
453, excuse me.
Yeah. Dana looks like he's going for it, Corey.
Oh, he's going for it and more, my friend.
What? Dana, you baller.
That was a crush. I mean, 450 feet, you wouldn't think as like top tier power, but this is such an aggressive shot to be going for.
Yeah, especially the lining. You know, took the flat to hyzer. Oh,
Totally.
No.
Wow, too much juice.
Yeah. Wow. Paul. Where's that going?
That is not going where he wants to.
No.
That.
Ooh.
No, I think he was trying to get aggressive too, but unfortunately, actually never crossed. So I had to throw from all the way back.
Oh,
on
no
this
kidding.
Side of the, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That was solid, man. Stand still.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense to try and go all the way for the pin there.
Yeah. Anthony probably going to be laying up here. Yeah. Take an easy 3, which you don't really lose too many strokes to people on this one. Oh, Keegan, don't roll in the water. Okay,
Ooh.
good.
No. Oh, my gosh. That possibility is real here, though.
It is, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, there, Paul getting the jump putt going for a 4 save. Keegan is coming back for his 4.
Good cleanup, man. That's one that can get out of hand if you
Right?
miss that comebacker.
Yeah. Start feeling real bad about yourself when you miss those ones.
Mm-hmm.
There's Anthony cleaning up his 3. And they're going to let Dana touch his disc?
No. It's actually PDGA rule. If you outdrive everyone their second shot, that disc is done.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow, Dana. That's the best I've ever seen on that hole. Like,
That, well, I mean, other than an ace, that
Yeah.
can't possibly be topped, right?
you are not wrong at all. Dana taking the chase card lead at 13 down, 4 down through 4. What?
He's cooking, and he's making a run on these guys.
Wow, he's in the mix on the lead card. Huge Snakes, Latitude 64, getting us out to Utah. Corey, I love my compass. Do you love your compass, Corey?
I love my compass more than what's like normally allowed by people.
You want to tell them why you love your compass so much?
I love my compass so much because I got my little ace at Masters Cup with that compass.
Got you the win, too.
It did. My CCDG one, it's my baby. It is actually a fact that CCDG discs do fly 30 to 40 feet farther and 10 to 20% more accurate. That's just science.
Yep, they also ace more often. Gotta love it. This is the safe shot here on hole 4, throwing away from the water. It's a really fast fairway. So
Absolutely. And at 696 feet, like, let's be real, you're not doing this.
no, you're not.
So it doesn't make sense to try and get super, super aggressive. At the end of the day, you're just playing for your second shot here.
Keegan might have wanted to turn that one over a little more than he did, but it should be okay.
It should be okay.
It's not okay, though. What?
It's not, and that really gives you a feel for how fast these fairways are.
Wow. Did that get to the water? Is that what that little inlet right there or something?
It got all the way to the water. Now, granted, the water does kind of like it goes back and forth, kind of like swerves, serpentines down there.
Okay.
And he caught one of the end parts, but regardless, that's OB, and you know, Ulibarri's shot's looking better and better now.
Yeah. Dana's going 5 down, guys.
Dana's not joking right now.
Looking at Paul's second here. Throwing the hyzer again. Okay, that should work for him, most likely.
Inside the circle, and you know, when you're playing at this level, inside the circle's your #1 goal.
Yeah, very true. Well, maybe 2 after your #1 goal of making the inside the circle putts.
That is true. That's true.
Keegan go getting flirty there on his third shot. Should make a 4. AB. He crushed that drive.
He smashed it, and didn't it look like conservative?
Yeah, it did. I did not realize he got so incredibly close. Like, he looked like 100 feet away there. Maybe 120. Good putt for Paul. Clean up, or making the birdie. Keegan saves the par.
Yeah, he was one little extra skip away from being OB there too.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Anthony continuing to posterize this course. unlike anybody except for Dana.
Yeah, unlike anybody ever has, except for the person who's doing it better right next to him.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, Dana, not like a lead card at any of these top tournaments recently, but he's definitely got game, dude. He's just Mr. Consistency with the form, and it's
Yeah.
really impressive.
Yeah. That beard's pretty on point too.
Oh, I know. Good crop, good crop.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, it looks real tight. Hole 6, par 3, 261, little island hole, Core.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorite holes to play. Definitely not, your championship caliber distance, but last year I actually didn't even play with the island. So one little step up, but it's your basic hyzer shot. Some of these guys throwing backhand, some of these guys throwing sidearm.
That was an island last year.
Oh, was? Okay, just without the wall?
Yeah, it didn't have the wall.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Good little forehand there from AB. Uli throwing his traditional forehand line on this hole. Ooh, a little wide. Get right. No.
Oh, less than traditional.
He did that last year too. Random.
He's done that, I think, twice so far this tournament on our cameras.
Oh, man. Keegan? He doesn't like it, but it doesn't look terrible. Oh, maybe it is.
No, there is a pretty good right to left wind, and that's brutal.
Went through the barrier?
Yeah, just cut right through it.
Need to get something sturdier next year.
Yeah, come on, Dodge.
There's Dustin. Give him that a go for 3, but he's going to be taking a 4 along with Paul. Anthony should be carding a 2. And Dana's just going to do Dana things.
Just another birdie?
Just another birdie.
Okay.
It's Dana 6, course 0 at this point, Corey.
Yeah, okay. Turns out that's how disc golf's played. All right. It looks different for me. I don't know.
Oh, man. One of those days. Those are fun days when you're feeling it, man.
Oh, I totally agree. There's just, you know what I mean? You wake up and nothing feels different, but then you get down there and it's just cooking.
Yep.
I don't know.
Pretty fun to watch, too.
No question.
All right, there's Dana with that 6 down. I mean, Anthony's having a fantastic round, too. But, gonna overshadow.
Yeah, but it's just, exactly. It's so much less impressive when somebody's a stroke better than you.
Yeah, for sure. On to hole 7, par 3, 546. Last year, Uli parked this one and then missed the putt, so maybe we'll see a birdie, but it's a really tough get.
It absolutely is. And, guys like Dana, I know he parked that 450-foot hole, but this one is definitely a bit out of his distance.
Yeah.
You need everything and more of top pro distance here.
Mm-hmm. Dana just smashing one out there. Hopefully that stays in
Yeah,
between
getting
the
flirty.
green. Yeah, he is. Oh, my. What? That's the opposite of the Bermuda Triangle. That's like...
Yeah, exactly, dude. That is not the landing zone you draw up when you're standing at the hole.
No. AB, he's going for this one, Corey.
Oh, yeah, man. Up into the ether. Yeah, that looks like a great line.
Yep.
Oh, a little bonus curl, too.
Getting around that tree for him real nice. And we know for a fact Paul can get there. Throwing a hyzer flip to Annie. Gotta get some late flex.
Yeah. Ooh, man.
That's a sturdy fence.
That's the type of fence we need for our OB. Put all sorts of barbed wire on it. It'll be good.
Yeah. Keegan? Throwing a pretty good looking flex shot right here.
Yeah, another one of those Star Destroyers. That's just, it's crushed.
Dustin?
Yeah.
Dang, dude.
Man, all you lefties out there tune into the Jomez Pro coverage. See Austin Turner even park it like it was touching the lock almost.
Really?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Wow.
Hyzer skipping over the green.
Oh, Paul almost throws it in for a 2. AB converts. He's caught Dana.
He has?
At
That's
6 down on the run.
through 7, yeah.
Yeah. There's Dana cleaning up the par. Solid par for him. That's what he was expecting on that hole. Really can't hope for more. Dustin, what a drive.
Yeah, that's unreal, man. That is just, it's hard to ask for anything more, and that's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Paul cleans up the par for almost getting a 2. 2 birdies on that one. Did not see that one coming. I mean, it's possible, but not likely.
Definitely. You do not see that hole played that well usually.
Yeah, I don't think I saw a birdie on it the entire tournament last year. Hole 8, par 3, 330. Another one of these super touchy greens, Corey.
Totally. Kind of like hole 1 where that green is located on the top of that little grassy knoll. This one, though, doesn't really have a landing zone before or after. It's really just spiking on top or putt at doom.
Yeah. AB.
Needs to watch for that bunker.
Did it
Oh, you can't see it, but notice the lack of the OB graphic that stayed in.
really? Wow. Dustin Keegan, looks like he's throwing a rock here.
Yeah, it's really that type of shot. Just your straight mid-range for these type of guys.
Wow.
You know, if you're feeling crafty, you can dunk something in out and around. But there is an ace bounty on this, $500 for the first ace.
Oh, nice.
These
Wow.
guys choosing instead to just
Come
absolutely park it.
on. I thought Dustin's was good, and then Dana threw. Uli, see if you can improve on that last one. I don't think so. Going a little long.
No, but definitely he misses that little bunker that's hanging out over there. So
Oh,
that's,
wow.
He's got a putt.
That's a pretty. I didn't realize that little hidden one back there.
Yep, one on each side.
Oh, Paul. Yep.
Just trying to figure out what happened.
No matter how long you stare at that, it didn't go in. And it's not going to, unfortunately. Anthony with a nice putt for 2. Dustin going to do the same. And Dana, don't hit your head.
Yeah, these guys are going to be allowed to clean up and just move on. That's just as good as it could possibly be played, really.
Dude, Chase Card is slaying this course.
I know. I kept checking my pocket, like, is
they
this
winning?
going to happen right now? Yeah.
Yeah. Would not have minded that.
No, definitely not.
There's Uli cleaning up the lone par. Lone par on that hole. Wow. 3 incredible drives. Anthony and Dana tied at 7 down on the round through 8. And we're on hole 9 court.
Yeah, 819 feet, kind of bookending our part 1 with par 4s. This one is probably a little bit tougher, I would say, than the first one, simply because it's a little farther. It has an elevated basket, brought to you by the Delta Windjammers Disc Golf Club. Yeah, so a little bit of teeth. If you choose the right fairway, you're going to have to deal with those bunkers long. A lot of folks are going to throw one like this, big power shot that's going to dump left of these trees.
Okay.
Kind of sets you up with a little bit more trouble free up shot.
Dude, AB crushed that.
That was smashed.
Yeah, for sure. Legitimate. Keegan looks like a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, really bending one out there.
Yeah.
At max distance.
He's been throwing those tasty flex shots. That's keeping up with the Barelas of the world right there. Dana doesn't quite have the power, but he'll put it in a good spot, no doubt.
Oh, totally. He'll still lean over on those PD2s and get him to go, man.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. Paul?
Smashing one out there as well.
Yeah, great swing.
Yeah, just kind of fighting that tree, though. Lost a little bit of distance on the end.
Yeah. Dana, see me put that up shot close.
Yeah, I was surprised to see these guys go and turnover.
Yeah.
But,
it worked.
Yeah, hard to argue with the results.
Yeah, I see a lot of forehand ups here. Or some outside annies, kind of like Paul's throwing. Ooh, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Almost smashed chains.
Man, that would have been... Yeah, it would have been a good one. That was
Yeah.
over 400 feet,
We
probably.
could have sports centered that one. Keegan with a nice forehand up shot right there. Anthony and Barela gonna do the same. I like his forehand a lot, Corey.
Yeah, it's very, like... It looks very mechanical, and, like, he's worked on it a lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, the form's down.
Yeah. Oh, that putt coming up a little bit short. This is one Anthony really wanted to get, where his distance really helps. But not so much. Oh, Paul misses the comebacker. It goes from almost a 2 to card in a 4. Dana for another birdie. He knew he was making it.
We're actually calling him Dana's now. I don't know if you knew that.
I'd get on board with that. Keegan with a nice birdie as well. We're going to have a couple par cleanups from Anthony and Paul. Dana's still doing pretty good.
Yeah, Dana, 8 down, I believe, through 9 holes. That is just... That's a pace that not a lot of people are keeping up with.
Oh, that is spitting fire. There's a 17 down. He's definitely on the in the mix on the league card, right?
Absolutely. I believe at this point he is 1 stroke off the lead. We'll see it here in just 1 sec once our graphic comes up. He is 1 stroke off the lead through
Dana.
9 holes. And remember, at this point, we're playing a hole, actually 2 holes ahead of the lead card.
Oh, wow.
So when we're checking UDisc after this, Dana's winning.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Love it, man. Love it. All right, guys. Well, that's all we got for the Utah Open Round 3 Part 1. Huge thanks to Latitude 64 for the sponsorship of getting us out there. Can't thank them enough. And we will catch you guys in Part 2. Thanks for watching.